Welcome back, Valhalla baddies and buddies. The Valkyries have officially finished their first season. The final two
Woo!
games were both on the road, and not gonna lie, they were tough. First, we played Seattle on Tuesday, September 9th. The Valkyries had another player come back from injury as we welcome back the league's silkiest shooter, Cecilia Zandalicini. With a win in this game, the Valkyries would clinch the sixth seed, but it would prove to be a difficult task as the Storm were playing to secure their own playoff spot. The Valkyries played great basketball in this game, including another double-double from Veronica Burton and a career-high 22 points from Janelle Sallaun. Sallaun was the team's leading scorer and absolutely electric from three-point range, going 5 for 7 on the game. But the Valkyries just couldn't pull it out in the end and fall to the Storm 73 to 76. On Thursday, September 11th, the Valkyries faced the Minnesota Lynx for the second time in 5 days. At the start of the fourth quarter, the Valks only trailed by 6, but the Lynx went on a 12-0 run to start the quarter and never looked back. Valkyries lost that one 53 to 72. This was a brutal game, especially on the offensive end, with the Valkyries shooting only 29% from the field and setting a new record for lowest point total in franchise history.
My hot take here, and there are a lot of people on Reddit who agree with me, is that the Lynx lost to the Fever on purpose just to turn around and beat us, knowing they would rather play us in the playoffs than the Fever or the Storm. Both the Fever and the Storm have had way more success against the Lynx this year than we have, and I just can't think of another reason you would bench Nafisa Collier an entire game for rest just to then play her in a game 2 days later, right before playoffs. If it's true, it's definitely smart basketball, and I guess that's the perk of being the number one seed by 4 full games.
Yeah, with that loss to the Lynx, the Valkyries fell into the final playoff spot, officially finishing in eighth. And the silver lining is that the Valkyries can stay in Minneapolis, where they will play the Lynx yet again on Sunday, September 14th. The Valkyries will then return to the Bay Area for Game 2 at SAP Center on Wednesday. And if a Game 3 is needed, that will be back in Minnesota on Friday.
Zooming out for the playoffs, we got a ton of exciting games ahead of us. Round one is a 3 game series with the higher seeded team hosting the first game in all matchups. The lower seeded team hosts the second, and then, if necessary, the higher seed hosts the final game. This means there's a lot of travel and a tight schedule for everyone playing. Obviously, our eyes will be on the Valkyries as they try to take down the Lynx, who are an absolute force. But hey, they said we wouldn't win any games this season, and they were wrong, so never say never. Also on my side of the bracket, the Mercury will have home court advantage over the Liberty, who they've beaten 3 times and lost to only once. On the other side of the bracket, we have what seems to be some closer match series. The Las Vegas Aces will take on the Seattle Storm with a 2-2 record against them. And the Atlanta Dream will be up against the Indiana Fever, who they have already played 5 times this year. Although the Fever have technically beaten them 3 times, all 3 were before the All-Star break, and several more Fever players have been injured since then. The Fever have definitely had an uphill battle here, which is kind of a continuation of their entire season. In total, they had 5 players suffer season-ending injuries, which is hard for any team to overcome. In one of our next episodes, we're going to talk about the injury epidemic of this season and what it means for the WNBA and players. If I'm voting with my heart, I want the Valks and the Fever to both make it to round two. I'm picking the Aces because I'm salty about our most recent loss to the Storm, and then the Liberty because I love watching them play and I think we have a slightly better chance against them in the Mercury. Is my heart in line with the most likely outcome of round one? Definitely not.
Now that the regular season is over, the WNBA will be announcing its 2025 season awards, which, according to the experts, a few Valkyries are in the running for.
For all rookie team, Janelle Sallaun is making a strong case, averaging 11 points and 5 rebounds.
Let's go!
My favorite thing about Ja isn't the fact that she makes these buckets, it's when she makes these buckets. My best memory of Ja this season was in our super close game against the Mercury, where she scored 2 clutch shots. Neither of them were pretty, but it didn't matter. She makes it when it counts.
And for most improved player, I'm hoping it's everybody's favorite point guard, Veronica Burton. V has averaged almost 12 points, 4 boards, and 6 assists per game this season, in addition to being the team's leader, handling tough defensive assignments, and coordinating the Valkyries' offense. Let's keep in mind that not only was V not starting last season, she got waived by Dallas before being drafted by the Valkyries. V has been consistent on both ends of the floor in all of the Valkyries lineups that we've seen this season, and I'm really hoping she can take home MIP.
And finally, Coach Natalie Nakase for Coach of the Year. If she doesn't deserve it, I don't know who does, and that's only a little bit of my bias speaking. She took what was supposed to be a bottom of the pack expansion team, made up of mostly 6 players on it, and got them to the playoffs year one. We're seeing every player on this team outperform expectations. Talk about redefining what it means to be an expansion team. In my eyes, she's a shoo-in. That's it for today, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.